What's up, everybody? Sean back with you guys for Week 9 picks. And last week, we stunk. And by we, I mean me. Last week on the parlays I gave you, and the teasers and the reverse teasers and all that fun stuff, I didn't win anything. Now, first let me start with my against the spread, which I gave you based on the parlay card, the $100,000 parlay card. On that card, I was 4-9 against the spread, 5-10 overall, if you include the 2 over-unders. So 4-9 against the spread. 4 wins, 9 losses. That is absolutely pathetic. You could do a better job flipping a coin. In terms of the bets, the closest we came to getting a winner, now again, we bet about 170, I think it was. The closest I came to a winner was this $5 ticket, which was $5 to win $55. I won the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Broncos, and came down to the Eagles plus 4.5. And my hometown Eagles were nice enough to completely screw up that game for me, so I appreciate that. They also screwed my friend that I go and make the bets with, who actually had a lot more riding on the game. He could have went over $600. He would have actually won. Eagles are in control the whole game, looking like they're going to win it. They put Wendell Smallwood in, who decides to fumble his only carry of the game. That's great. Then they go ahead and decide to run a screen pass in field goal range, which loses them 7 yards, putting them right at the edge of field goal range, but they decide not to take the field goal and to punt it instead. And, well, just they blew the game. If you guys like football, which I'm assuming you do, you're watching this video, you know the Eagles just completely blew the game. So thanks, hometown Philadelphia Eagles. All right, so anyways, that's how we did in Week 8. It wasn't good. We lost all the bets that we made, and I'm saying we, I mean me. I lost all the bets I gave you guys. I didn't do well against the spread at all. 4-9's terrible. I've been on a little bit of a slump the last 4 weeks. Now, I felt really good last week about the picks. I really felt good about all my plays last week, and I went 4 of 9. So I don't know how this is going to make you feel, but I feel pretty bad about the picks this week, and I just kind of was like, let's just make them. Let's see what happens. So I don't know what that says about the picks, whether you feel better about them now since I felt good last week and stunk, or, I'm due for a winning week. It's been 4 weeks since I've had one. I don't know. If you're still watching this video, bless your soul for even attempting to listen to the picks that I have here or my reasoning behind them. So with that said, let's get into the picks. All right. So again, I'm going by the Delaware Park parlay card in order to determine my lines. All right, so I like the Buccaneers tonight on Thursday Night Football. They are +4 against the Atlanta Falcons. On the parlay card for Delaware Park, the Chiefs are -10. I'm seeing that the line is kind of moved because Nick Foles is apparently playing, and it looks like Spencer Ware is going to be out as well. Also, the Jags fired their offensive coordinator, so it could go a little bit differently. This game's got a lot of question marks going into it, but supposedly, I looked earlier, the line was down to like 7 for the Chiefs. The parlay card here has them at -10. I like them at -10. I think the Chiefs are going to run away with this. I actually thought Nick Foles looked a little bit better in terms of throwing the football than Alex Smith did. Alex Smith obviously is more mobile than Nick Foles is, but let's not forget Alex Smith went nearly a whole season without throwing a touchdown pass to a wide receiver. Or did he go a whole season and it wasn't until next year? I forget exactly, but I know eventually they got one, but it was a long time. So anyways, I actually like Nick Foles in this offense better than I like Alex Smith in the offense. So I know 10 points is a lot, but I do like the Chiefs -10. I like the Vikings -6 over the Lions. I think after these last 2 games the Vikings have played, where they went from undefeated to losing pretty convincingly against 2 teams that they probably shouldn't have lost that way to. I think it shows that they're not as good as maybe we thought they were. And of course, Norv Turner stepped down as the offensive coordinator, so that happened as well. But I think it's actually going to kind of invigorate the Vikings, and I think they're actually going to come out here fired up, and they're going to look to just kind of wreck Detroit and just like run over them and show like, hey, we are a good team. We're not as bad as we've looked. So I think the Vikings are going to go ahead and win that game and cover the 6 points. The Giants and the Eagles are going head-to-head this week. I have the Eagles +3. I don't particularly like that game one way or the other. I'm not too sure what to make of the Eagles particularly. I mean, they looked like they were a great team, 3-0, just came off a 34-3 beating of the Steelers, and came out the next week and we lost to the referees / the Detroit Lions because the referees really gave them that game. It was pretty bad. It was one of the worst officiated games I've ever seen in my life, and it favored Detroit most of the game. Then the next week we came out and looked pathetic against the Washington Redskins. Then we came out and beat a Minnesota Vikings team that was undefeated. and then we respond and we give away a game to Dallas. So I really don't know what to make of this team. It's a lot of ups and downs. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the money with the team that's getting 3 points. So we're going to go ahead and take the Eagles +3. I like the Browns +7 points. This might seem like a really odd pick because all the signs point to Dallas just kind of running over them. But I believe Dallas has some issues with their cornerbacks. I believe like their top 2 starters are out, or I believe it was, if I remember reading this correctly. And the biggest reason I'm going with the Browns +7 here, the line makes no sense. If you asked me before the lines came out to assign a line to this game that I thought it might be, it would probably be somewhere in the 9 to 11 range, 9 being the lowest I would expect to see this game. So to see this game at 7 points on the Delaware card, at least, I have to take the Browns because it seems like Vegas is tempting me like, here, take the Cowboys -7. It's a lock. Look at them. They've dominated everybody except for the Eagles and the Giants, who they barely beat the Eagles and came back in crazy fashion. And the Giants they lost to in a very close game week 1. This is an easy pick right here. Take the Cowboys. And so when Vegas does that, I usually go the opposite way. So I do like the Browns +7. Not that I feel great about it, but I have to go the opposite way when I see a weird line like that. If you guys have followed me for the last couple of years, I've been doing this 6 years. Usually when I go the opposite way on a Vegas pick, it usually does end up working well for me, like when those type of lines strike me. I like the Jets here +4 over the Dolphins. I don't think the Dolphins are a very good team. I don't think the Jets are either, but the Jets have their moments where they seem a little bit better. Whereas the Dolphins, I don't think have any redeeming qualities. That's just me. I like the Ravens, who are +3 over the Steelers. There's no Big Ben in that game, which is mostly my thinking on that game and why I'm taking the Ravens with the points. Also, the Ravens have played a lot of close games, and most of their games have been within a couple points, even whether they've lost or won. So I like the Ravens plus the points. This next one's a little tough for me. I like the Saints -3 here. Against the 49ers, but for some reason I just have a feeling that the 49ers can pull this game out and win outright. So I'm a little afraid of the game. I feel like the Saints could blow them out, but at the same token, the Niners could win this game. So it's like, if the Niners win, I think it's close. If the Saints win, I think it's a blowout. So take that for what you will. If I had to pick one way or the other, I'm going with the Saints -3. I like the Panthers -3 to kind of run over the Rams. You've got Cam Newton talking to the league saying that he's hit all the time and it's not being called. And because of that reason, I think the league is actually going to give him some calls this week because of that. So I wouldn't be too shocked to see them get him in some good offensive positions because of the calls the referees are giving them. So I do like the Panthers to kind of run over the Rams here. Plus, the Rams aren't a very good team. Case Keenum looked terrible last time we saw him. I think it was against the Giants when he threw 4 interceptions or whatever. So, yeah, I like the Panthers here -3. The Packers and Colts. I like the Colts +7 because the Packers just haven't looked that great, and they have lately, but I don't really know that they can continue that level of play after they've lost so many people in terms of Lacey, and Jordy Nelson hasn't really been the same, and I don't think they can continue that kind of play, especially because Aaron Rodgers hasn't looked that great for a long time. So just because he's looked good in the last couple of games, I don't know that that continues in this game. The Colts have a terrible defense, but the Colts also have Andrew Luck, and they have T.Y. Hilton. I believe T.Y. Hilton's going to be playing. I know he left last week with an injury. Had a little bit of a problem there with that. But I think the Colts keep this close at least. I mean, I like the Colts +7 here. I think when you have one guy who thinks he's the best and has been the best for the last couple of years, and Aaron Rodgers, I mean, I know Tom Brady has been the best, but Aaron Rodgers has been the guy that they're saying is like the next, after Brady leaves, or if Brady fades or Manning fades or retires as he did, then Rodgers would be the new face of the NFL. Many consider him the best because of his mobility as well, along with his ability to throw the ball, and he makes some spectacular plays and throws. However, Andrew Luck is also considered one of the best as well, in that same level behind, Brady and Manning over the last couple of years. It's been those two guys. So I think that both of them are going to be excited to play each other, and I think they're going to up their level of competition because of that. So I like the Colts +7 because, again, you're getting two great quarterbacks going against each other, and I like to take the team with the points in that situation, especially when it's 7 points. I like the Chargers -6 over the Titans. The Chargers have been able to score on a lot of different teams, including Denver, who's got one of the best defenses in the league, and I believe it was Seattle as well. I'd have to double-check that. But in any case, Chargers have been able to put up points on good defenses, even without the skill players. So the Titans have a decent defense. I think that the Chargers will be able to put up points against them. And the Titans offense should also be able to put up points against this Chargers. However, I just think the Chargers are a better team, so I like them -6 here. In fact, the Chargers, I think, were a couple bad plays and turnovers at the end of a couple games away from being one of the better teams in the league in terms of their record. And then finally, we have two more games. We have the Raiders. I like the Raiders -1 over Denver. The Raiders have been amazing so far this season, and a lot of people are saying Derek Carr could very well be the midseason MVP. He's got the Raiders at 6-2. Cooper and Crabtree have looked amazing, and they've done a little bit of a running back by committee as well to move the ball on the ground. So I like the Raiders here to win this game. I think they're going to be fired up to play the Broncos. It's a close game. I wouldn't bet it if I had to pick, if I had to say, hey, should I take this game or should I take a different game? I would probably opt for a different game to put my money on. But I think the Raiders win this game in a little bit of what I would call an upset, even though they're favored this week, despite being underdogs like the last 2 weeks against teams that I didn't think they should have been underdogs against. But nevertheless, and then we go to Monday night. I like the Bills +7 over the Seahawks. The Seahawks have been pathetic all year. I started Russell Wilson last week in my fantasy league, and he actually lost me the game because had I started Blake Bortles instead, I would have won. But I figured that Russell Wilson had a really easy matchup and that he was going to put up a lot of points. He was going to do really well, and he stunk. So thanks, Russell Wilson. Thanks, Seattle. So I like the Bills here +7 because I just think the Seahawks are a pretty crappy team on offense, and they can't really move the ball. You're getting 7 points. So I don't see how they really beat the Bills by much more than that. The Bills have an explosive offense, even without McCoy if he doesn't play. So I like the Bills +7. Now, finally, getting to my parlays for the week. I originally announced last week that I would put the parlays on Instagram to make them a little bit easier to read. I had a little bit of a brain fart. I wasn't really thinking. If I take the pictures and put them on Instagram, or if I take the pictures and put them on this video, it's all the same. I can take a picture of my parlays, freeze frame it, and let you look at them and put it up there for 10 seconds. You could pause the video and look at the parlays that way. So, having said that, I'm going to close this video with putting my parlay pictures up for the week so you can go ahead and see my parlays, reverse teasers, all that good stuff. We bet $156 this week, so let's hope to go ahead and get some big wins. Got the game tonight in a couple different ways. And again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, just to preface this, I like to do a lot of bets, give myself a lot of chances to win. I have 21 total tickets, and with those tickets, I like to go the opposite way on a couple games that I'm not sure of. So you'll see that some games, some parlays and teasers and reverse teasers, I have the Bucks, others I have the Falcons. I like to mix it up. So yes, I know I can't win every one, but I try to go ahead and give myself more chances and allow for things that I might not have predicted to happen properly. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye and put up the pictures of the parlays. All right. Thanks for tuning in this week, guys. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week. Good luck to you guys.